That's the biggest thing. How to start a podcast? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking goddamn pain in the ass. It's like, oh, you just start, you just go. You know what? That's it. We're starting right now. Okay,
We're just fucking starting.
just go. We're just gonna start. This is 5th and 10.
All right. All right, 5th and 10.
All right, I'm Cort.
I'm I'm 10 or Tom.
What a shit show. All right.
It's fine.
It's fine. We're good. Uh, fucking doing a preseason podcast because with predictions and shit like that. Because I believe we're recording this on Tuesday, but it should be coming out Wednesday. So tomorrow, the actual season starts, the 101st season, and it's gonna be a lot of fun doing this every single week because we basically do this on our own, and we're like, hey, why not just talk about this in a podcast and record it? And that's basically what we're gonna do.
Yeah, we're gonna stop subjecting all of our friends who don't care about it to it. We're just gonna scream into here instead.
Yeah, we can just scream into the fucking void for anybody who cares.
Yeah.
And if we were gonna talk about anything about the off season, really just this whole fucking off season in general is kind of fucking crazy. Just the amount of people that have swapped teams or just in general how everything's we have now Oakland's in Las Vegas now, which is fucking insane. They have a team in Las Vegas. The amount of like old guard or just like classic players that have been on like the same team that we're used to our entire lives are gone, like fucking Philip Rivers and Tom Brady and shit like that. And how they've been adjusting to the entire COVID thing. It's been like the craziest offseason I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a weird off season. It's gonna be a weird season going forward with everything else going on. It's gonna be interesting to see how teams can kind of handle it. What was it, like 70 opted out players?
Yeah, it's like 70, but the biggest thing is there's like 2,700 people working in the NFL, and like I think it's like 30 of them were tested positive. It's like it's really fucking low. It's like 0.05%.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've been doing good with it right now, but that's like inter
Before they start hitting
franchise.
each other.
Yeah, before they start like really, going all over the place and hitting each other. But like they've done an okay job with it so far.
At least they fucking canceled the London games. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. No London
Jacksonville.
games this year.
Now there's no reason to care about Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville's got 16 home games this year, or away games this year.
I'm pretty fucking sure that they're gonna be the worst team in the league. Well,
Really?
we'll talk about that later.
All right.
Yeah.
So do you want to start off with those new players on new teams?
Yeah. I mean,
We'll just work our way down that list.
obviously the big fucking one is goddamn Tom Brady, and also the Bronx, the Bronx, the Bucks are creating one of the best fantasy teams from a couple years ago.
Yeah, if it was like 5 or 6 years ago, I'd call them a super team. Now it's a little bit of a retirement home, but
this isn't a new thing. Like teams that do this all the time. Like every 5 years, like a team that just grabs like old big names. You know what I mean? That could service you up like a mediocre season, but like, I mean, maybe Bruce Arians is just smart enough to actually handle them well.
mm-hmm.
But like,
I mean, like you said, the big one, Tom Brady. This is the first time that he's not playing for the Patriots. Pretty much in our lifetime, just about. When did he get drafted? 2000.
He was 2000.
2000. So yeah, it's gonna be really kind of weird seeing him not wearing that Patriots uniform this year. But I am a little interested to see how it goes, because the past couple of years, like he's been playing consistently, like pretty good. It's still Tom Brady. I think he had like over 4,000 yards last year, but it's really just kind of to see how he can adjust to the way Arians runs things. Because like he's got Chris Goodwin and Mike Evans, like that's a really solid receiving core. It's just kind of seeing if he can take, I don't know, the Patriot way out of him. If you get what I mean there.
Yeah, well, Tom, I think will actually do pretty much like he's declined. Like if you actually watched him fucking play last year, he was not the same Tom Brady like physically, but like mentally, he's still a very good quarterback and game manager and shit like that. But what really makes it the retirement home is fucking Gronk, who came back again, and Shady McCoy. Like, okay, they're good. They were great back then, but like, okay, I just don't know how to feel about actually having them like start up in 2020.
I'm not expecting to see a whole lot out of Gronk. It's really just whether or not he can stay healthy all year, in my opinion.
Do you think do you think what like the Bucks did with Gronk is kind of like what the Seahawks did with Beast Mode like at the end of the season last year? Kind of like promotional type of shit.
I don't know if I'd call it promotional because didn't Gronk kind of reach out to wanting to play with the Bucks when Brady got traded?
I think he did actually. I think maybe he just really didn't want to play for. Maybe he wanted to play with Tom, but he didn't want to play with the Patriots.
Hmm. I mean, dude, like Gronk's been injury prone for a while. Like it's really taken its toll on him. So I'm interested to see how he plays. I don't think he's gonna like wreck the league or anything with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. I think he'll play fine.
Why would he even come back to the NFL? He's a wrestling superstar. That's where the life's at, man.
Yeah. Didn't Pat McAfee kind of make that switch? I
Patton
think
did
Pat
as well.
McAfee was on a couple of wrestling shows.
He won. I'm pretty sure.
Mm, look at him.
The Bucks also they literally just got Leonard Fournette. Because speaking of the Jaguars losing all their fucking no more Saxonville, no more Leonard Fournette.
Hmm.
That's gonna be. So who do you think are gonna use more, Leonard Fournette or Shady McCoy?
I feel like they're gonna lean on Fournette a little more than McCoy. I would at least if I was Arians. I don't know,
Yeah.
Leonard Fournette's he's not that old. Like Shady McCoy is a little older. I think that you could kind of get like a two running back situation going on, but I think Fournette's probably going to be your primary guy.
Because well, I mean, McCoy's like prime was before Fournette was even like drafted. Because
Hmm.
Fournette was drafted 2017,
Yep.
and McCoy was like 2015, 2016. That was his prime, like that kind of the mid 2010s. And it would honestly help to have that entire. That's what I'm wondering is really. I know people like they're like, oh, Leonard Fournette, that's cool, but not really caring as much. And I don't think Leonard Fournette's a bad player. I think he's actually a really good player. It's just he was on the Jaguars and he was really mishandled. And Bruce Arians, I mean, kind of knows how to do this shit. So despite the fact that people make fun of him sometimes, but like, I think he could possibly pull something off there. But I don't think it's gonna be this world shattering fucking bullshit that the media's hyping up.
Yeah, no, people are getting really excited for that Buccaneers offense. I think they'll have an okay season. I'm not expecting anything crazy out of Tampa Bay this year.
You think they'll make the
But who
playoffs?
knows? Maybe they'll prove. I don't know, man. If anything, a wild card spot because that NFC South is a rough division.
We talk about so we got Gronk and Brady no longer Patriots or Bucks, and I've been talking about this a bunch with you and a couple other people who I think the Patriots have the player to look forward to this season, and that'd be Cam Newton. And I've got a bit of a soft spot there because I'm an Auburn boy. I love Auburn, so I loved Cam Newton growing up, and I don't know. That's why I'm not even counting out the Patriots. I think the Patriots could grab a wild card this year because I think Cam Newton is still really good if he can like stay healthy.
Hmm. I mean, like offensive side of the ball, I think that they'll do fine. The defensive side of the ball though is a little worrying for me with the Patriots because I think they had like 5 guys or something opt out.
I think it was 10.
10?
Yeah, like I think over that might be the entire team. That might be the entire team, not just the starting defense.
I mean even 10 for one team that's quite a bit. But I think Patrick Chung I think opted out. They're
Mhm.
missing like a couple of secondary guys. I think they pretty much like only have um, Stephon Gilmore. So
I'm pretty sure that secondary is decimated aside from Gilmore.
probably, but I think like that you're you're gonna see a recurring theme here with the predictions for new players. I think Cam Newton is going to be playing fine. uh, I mean, I think it was him and Edelman. No, fuck, I'm thinking of somebody completely different. But I don't know that Patriots wide receiving core. Like if you can just kind of like lean on Edelman, you'll do fine. But I do think Cam's kind of got his work cut out for him in New England because he's what this is his 10th season.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well
10th
he
year. He's kind of got something to prove playing for a new team for the first time.
especially motherfucking New England that he's
Oh yeah,
walking in, he's gonna be the starting quarterback for Foxborough. He's got to prove it himself to that
I know.
entire crazy fan base.
You've really got something to prove if you're replacing Tom Brady. They're gonna expect a lot out of him this year, I think.
Yeah, but this isn't like a rookie replacing Tom Brady. This is Cam Newton. Like he's been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's won MVP. So like I don't think this is like that big of a stretch, and especially because he's gonna be playing. Not only does he have, I think, a pretty decent team to play with. In all honesty, aside probably a better team if the opt outs didn't happen, COVID and shit. But he's got Belichick.
Hmm.
I don't know. I keep thinking like, oh, Patriots are done, yada yada. But I just think of like that combo of Belichick and Cam Newton because now Belichick never had that like huge running option. Like Tom Brady just reached like 1,000 yards rushing like last year, I think, or 2 years ago. Now he's got a whole other avenue opened up with Cam Newton. And Cam Newton's fucking. He's got that strong arm. He might not have like the ability to read shit as well as Tom Brady, but the athleticism and the overall just raw skill is way opens up way more shit. And that's not even like saying Cam Newton's stupid. He's really smart as well if you actually watch him play. I don't know. Maybe again that could be my Cam Newton bias seeping in.
No, I
I
mean,
love
I
Cam
I
Newton.
like Cam. I like Cam surprisingly as a Saints fan, but I really do like watching Cam Newton play. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he gets a lot more shit than he really deserves. So,
Maybe
like, the Patriots are a team I'm going to be watching a fair bit this year.
I don't know. I mean, like everyone was like annoyed with like the bit of like arrogance he had. You know what I mean? But like
Hmm.
he was the MVP. You're allowed. Like the rule is there's nothing wrong with shit talking if you back it up,
Hmm.
and he could back it up back then. He just got injured. It happens to everybody gets injured every now and then. Just leave Cam alone. Cam's gonna do fine. He could do great. You know what I mean? Shit, that is the thing that's gonna be we're just gonna have to watch.
All right. Do you want to move on to an important one for you? Philip Rivers.
Philip, for context, for anybody who doesn't know, if you can't tell from the jersey the good old bird is wearing, I am very much a Colts fan, die-hard Colts fan most of my life, and I don't like to think about Andrew Luck and shit, but Philip Rivers makes me very nervous in the sense that I like Jacoby Brissett, but he's just not a guy you can. He makes some really great plays. Like there's probably one highlight that everybody thinks of when you think of like Jacoby Brissett being great, which is it was in like this Broncos game last year where he was like it was like fourth quarter, like a minute left in the game. It was like third and like 20, and he was like on his own 3 yard line at that point, like like scrambling, and he just throws like this 30 yard long bomb like perfectly to T.Y. Hilton while he's getting like tackled, and then that like sets him up to like finish the drive and get the game-winning field goal with Adam Vinatieri, which that wasn't a very common occurrence last year. But Philip he's a good quarterback, but like watching him last year, maybe having the better offensive line will like help him like calm himself down and not overthrow every fucking thing and get so many goddamn turnovers. Like basically just hopefully it's just not Jameis Light. I could talk about the entirety of the Colts, but like Philip Rivers, if Philip Rivers plays like the Philip Rivers of like 2 years ago, or even like I'm not gonna say he's gonna play like his prime. He can't. He's old. You know what I mean? He's been around for a long time. But if he can play like the Cam from like 2 years ago, I think that those Colts have a really good chance because it's a really balanced team around him.
I mean, like he's an old guy. He's been around for a while. Long time playing in San Diego and then LA when they changed. Um, I mean, he's had like 6 or 7, I think, like back to back to back 4,000 yard passing years. But like last year, just like the interceptions and everything, him just trying to force throws, and like you said a little bit before with the offensive line, hopefully that'll kind of let him sit in the pocket and make some more reads because he does have a nice like young talented wide receiver core around him. And then even then he's got the veteran, T.Y. Hilton, like that. He's got good targets. He's kind of like set up to perform well in Indianapolis, I think.
I think I'm sure is he gonna be? He's no fucking Andrew Luck. Like Andrew Luck, if he was like playing, he'd probably be doing better. But like I think that I maybe that's the optimism being injected into my fucking veins. But I think the Colts could do really well this year. I don't know if it's Super Bowl well, but it's like enough that I'm not gonna punch my wall again.
I see the Colts probably making a wild card spot.
I'm gonna shock you a bit later.
Oh man.
I'm gonna shock you with a thing when we talk about our overall season predictions. All right. Probably can't we can't talk too much about like every player. So let's see. Let's just try to I guess run through it a bit. Of these players that like we don't
Yeah.
care about as much. Like Big Dick Nick on the Bears. He's not even the
He's
starter.
gonna ride the bench because they don't know what they're doing in Chicago. They're gonna have
Matt
Mitch Kissintitty start over him.
Matt Nagy, what did you do?
I mean, they keep saying that they're confident in Mitch Trubisky. I honestly think it's just because they're upset they didn't get Patty Mahomes.
Mhm.
They gotta stick with it now. They didn't get Mahomes. They gotta stick with Mitch and Kizzy.
They gotta stick to their fucking guns. Like we're sticking with you all the way through. He's gonna fucking like do nothing this year. Watch him prove me wrong, and he does like a great season. He's I'd put money on that. He's not gonna do a great season.
I don't know, man.
He's gonna hold back that defense again.
Gonna have Nick Foles sitting behind Mitch Trubisky. What are you doing?
No. But that's it. He only needs to play good enough to get them to the wild card, and then you sub in Big Dick Nick for the
Yeah,
playoffs.
then you swap him out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's where he
That's how it works.
performs.
If this is Matt Nagy's strategy, like, all right, we're gonna go 8-8, we're gonna make that seventh wild card spot, and then we're gonna swap Big Dick Nick. And if that is Matt Nagy's strategy, I can't knock it.
All right.
I mean, that's not his strategy, obviously, because that's not what you do as a coach in the NFL. But I like the meme idea that he believes in the mythos of Big Dick Nick.
They're not just building their team around him; they're building their whole strategy around him.
I don't know. I think that Gridiron Heights, like the draft episode, kind of nailed it. Like, just Nick Foles going. I think I had a really weird career.
Nah. Who else? Who else do we want to talk about?
Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley just mentioning that he's back in Georgia. That's something worth mentioning. Stephon Diggs is in Buffalo.
Hmm.
No, wait,
Can
not
I
Buffalo.
can I have a semi hot take here?
Sure.
I think that Stephon Diggs is going to be the best wide receiver in the AFC East.
I don't know why I said not Buffalo. He isn't Buffalo. I'm getting my brain cells confused. Do you think he's? Yeah, I'd agree with you. You think like who else is there? There's Edelman.
See,
Who else?
here's the thing. You had to think about it. Means I'm right.
How's that a hot take? He's fucking Stephon Diggs. He's the man who destroyed your dreams.
Hey, he might have. He might have done that.
I don't think enough people are talking about Stephon Diggs being on the Bills. Yeah, I mean, like Josh Allen improves a little bit. That's a great receiving option right there, and that's gonna because if the Bills just need to rank up their offense because their defense is fucking fantastic.
As long as Josh Allen doesn't look like the end of the wild card game from last year, they'll be fine.
He doesn't lateral it right.
Well, I mean that.
I don't
I don't
blame
know.
that entirely.
I'm not gonna blame him. He's like a young guy playing like his first playoff game. Like you're gonna make bad decisions. You're under a lot of pressure.
Plus, I mean, he did really well in the first quarter. Like he caught
Yeah.
a touchdown pass.
Oh yeah. No, I think that Stephon Diggs is gonna have a good year over in Buffalo.
I was really hoping Trayvon would have gone to Trayvon Diggs, his brother who just got drafted to the Cowboys. I was really hoping he'd go to like the Bills or either the Bills or the Vikings just to create some brother type of shit. And then there was we can spend a little bit of time talking about it because this is a rival for you and plus a guy who was just on your team, Teddy Bridgewater on the Panthers.
I'm really excited to see Teddy Bridgewater play. He doesn't get as much respect as he deserves. He's like the 5 games he played last year. Like because you were talking to me. I heard that Drew broke his thumb or dislocated his thumb, whatever he did to it, and I was like, it's over. Like this is gonna ruin our year. We're gonna lose the next 5 games.
He won all 5.
Yeah, he won all 5 of them. He did what we asked him to. I'm a little sad to see him go because I really was hoping that he would be like the next in line after Drew.
Mm-hmm.
But I know
that's
Sean
what
Payton really wants to stick it with Taysom Hill because I don't know what's going on with Taysom Hill because now we have famous Jameis. So is Taysom Hill just going to be a Swiss Army knife for the rest of his career? Are they actually going to have him step up when Drew retires? I don't know, but I know that I'm really excited to see Teddy B play as like a starting quarterback this year. I think he's going to have a really good year.
Wasn't there that really shitty, like, useless statistic by PFF between, like, Jameis
Yeah,
and Taysom?
yeah, they fucking God, it was like the worst statistic I've ever seen. Hold on, let me fucking pull. I have it right here. It was Jameis Winston career pick sixes 11, Taysom Hill career completions 7. Oh, okay.
You can
Taysom's
compare
not a starting quarterback.
you can compare numbers. Good for you.
Taysom plays football. That's it.
I like, yeah, I like PFF sometimes, but, like, what is the point of that?
It's a just absolutely useless statistic. It's like one of them was I mean, Jameis did 30 interceptions last year, but uh, like it's just not the same. It's just not the same thing. That's like pointing out that fuck, who is it? Who has some wide receiver is like 100% passing completion and like 2 touchdown passes in his career, but he's only thrown like 3 passes.
Well, you know who was like the best like non QB, right? Like non QB at like throwing passing touchdowns, right? It was Ladainian Tomlinson. He was like excellent at like throwing touches when like passing touchdowns when he got the chance.
Yeah, but like you're not gonna pull up Ladainian Tomlinson's stats and compare him to like somebody else, like a quarterback stats, because it's not the same thing. Taysom is a quarterback in name, and that's it. That's the way I see it right now, because he
What
just
even
does whatever they need him to.
what even is Taysom Hill's job? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
We should create a drink. We already have the 5th and 10 drinking game. Take a shot every single time we make a Gridiron Heights reference. What is that? 2 drinks now?
I mean, I already took a sip of beer after that. I didn't know we were playing a game.
I'm not talking about for us. I'm talking about anybody watching.
Anybody watching, you can kill somebody.
Oh, we could fucking kill somebody easily.
Okay.
Nobody will know. Oh, what's there? I mean,
Oh, hold on, I
really,
pulled it up for you while we were talking. 8 Patriots have opted out.
8.
8.
By the way, back up like a tiny bit from your mic if you can.
Oh fuck, am I too close?
You're like popping a bit.
Uh oh. Is that better?
Get like I want like a middle between those, but between like what you have before and now.
How about that?
That's good. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No, that's good. Sorry.
First half of this podcast is just gonna be a little poppy.
Yeah.
I'll
Well, I
get an
mean
actual mic eventually.
yeah, that's why we have the actual
Not my razor cracking microphone.
But that's why we have the. I mean, mine would be perfect if I wasn't in this room. That's echoey. You know what I mean? Which hopefully I think I can cancel out a bit, like just with a little bit of editing. Hopefully. But
Yeah.
these first like 2 weeks gonna be rough. But the moment I'm in my new apartment, like I'm gonna be fucking good because I have an actual microphone.
Yeah, I just have a really echoey, a shitty headset mic. So.
It's not too many other people to talk about really, except for like getting into like teams as a whole, which we kind of already have done. But whatever.
You want to talk about Brandon Cooks?
I don't know as much about Brandon Cooks this offseason.
He's playing for his 4th team in 6 years, which is weird because I'm pretty sure that he's had like 1,000-yard years for every single one of those teams. But now he's playing in Houston, so I'm thinking that he's gonna kind of like fit that hole that DeAndre Hopkins is leaving, and I think that he might end up being like, the 1 or 2 receiver in Houston, if you ask me. Because he's a good he's a good wide receiver.
He is
Like
absolutely.
he's a guy that can catch balls. He played for New Orleans for a couple of years, and I loved watching him. And then we got rid of him for like no reason.
I only know what was the 4th team.
Patriots, I think, for a year.
Oh, I think you're right. Actually,
I think he had like 1 year with the Patriots.
trying to think who are the wide. So I know there's trying to think of all the wide receivers on. They have that's right. They have Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb's in the Texans. That is a weird. So they have. So I knew they had Will Fuller, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. I forgot that they both had both Randall Cobb and Kenny Stills.
Kenny Stills is another good guy.
He is. So it's just weird to have like I don't know. He's like with DeAndre leaving, you're just kind of like, oh, that receiving core is gone. But then you just realize, oh, they have players there.
Yeah, they really do.
Sean Watson can make do with that.
Fuck, I forget what the stat was, but like I mean, average yards per reception to receivers that weren't DeAndre Hopkins, I think Deshaun Watson had like 9.7 yards on average. So he's gonna do fine. Like losing DeAndre is definitely a big hit, but like he'll do fine with what he's got. Deshaun Watson's a really talented quarterback. I'm not worried about how he's gonna play. I think he'll do great.
I think that's going to lead us into one of the two big contracts from this season. I think we talk about DeAndre Hopkins getting, what is that, the biggest payday of any non-quarterback ever.
Fuck. I remember I messaged you about it and I forget what it was. I think it was the biggest non QB like in NFL history, I think. I think he just signed it today, Tuesday.
Oh yeah, yesterday. I'm pretty sure that he signed it, but it's just like that's a lot of money for a wide receiver. He deserves it, you know what I mean? But it's just like, god damn.
Can't believe Bill O'Brien let him walk. What a fucking moron.
So do you think this team excels or is held back by Bill O'Brien?
Held back.
Yeah, but it's weird because like they keep making the playoffs. I wonder if that's just
Well,
because of like the
it's
team.
honestly just off of raw talent, honestly. Because like Deshaun Watson is one of the best QBs in the league right now, I'd say.
He's top 5. Yeah, he's probably fourth, I'd say.
But I mean, like you just let a major part of your offense leave.
Who's better than Deshaun? Like there'd be Patty Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Russell Wilson, and then you have Deshaun Watson. Like those are probably like the 4 standout QBs in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
At least off the top of my like off the top of my head, like the big names. If you want to go into like extremely consistent, still you can go like Drew Brees. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Drew Brees is probably number 5 right now.
Yeah, maybe I'd say.
I don't know. I like Drew a lot for his consistency.
You know me, I love Drew Brees.
I don't think you're biased at all, actually.
Maybe just a little.
All right, I need contract number 2, huh? Patrick Mahomes.
I hate that I can use the word $500 million when I'm talking about a sports contract.
Half,
Just absolutely unfucking real.
and not just like a sports contract, an NFL contract. Like this isn't baseball. This is the NFL. Half a fucking billion with a B. Well, I mean, like it's 500 million, but like half of the billion.
I don't know, man. He's getting paid. I don't know how Kansas City does it. They've got just all this money to throw around. Like they're gonna regret it in a couple of years when they don't have money, but I think it's gonna be balanced out by the fact that they have Patrick fucking Mahomes.
I mean, yeah, they're doing whatever the Saints aren't.
Mm,
What is it, like 30 million over the cap?
it's a lot of million over the cap. That's all I remember. I don't have a specific number to pull out for you.
The Saints are way over the cap. You know who else is in cap hell? The fucking Rams.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Dude, the Rams are in cap hell and they didn't even win the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah. All right. Do you want to move on to entire teams that we wanted to talk about?
Yeah, to an extent, teams that we haven't talked about as much. Like, I guess we basically talked as much about the Patriots as we wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about the Patriots. I guess the thing to talk about with Miami would be like, because we want to talk about Miami a little bit, would have been the quarterback situation, but that kind of got like situated out like after we had that idea.
Yeah, I think that they said that Fitzpatrick was going to play.
Yeah.
I think Tua is there too, and Josh Rosen is going to be third. Which I mean, that's still like that's a crowded QB room.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've got a lot of players, like not like super great, but like you've got a lot of players who could play there.
It's
It's
weird.
Josh Allen.
I can
Josh
talk
Rosen.
Josh Rosen.
The other Josh Allen.
the I kind of like this trend because there was like this one statistic about how like in the past like 10 years, like most QBs who were drafted like in the first round started. And now we have a bunch of QBs who aren't doing that, who are riding the bench for like their first year when they could start. And I'm interested to see that trend happen more. because I kind of feel bad for quarterbacks who get thrown to the fire immediately, especially when they're drafted early first round like Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I think Joe Burrow's gonna do fine. I'm excited because like these past 2 or 3 years, we've had just like young quarterbacks just kind of like take over the league. Like watching Lamar play and watching Patrick Mahomes play, and now we're talking about like a quarterback who had one of the best college football seasons ever. I think Joe Burrow's gonna be doing fine. In training camp, I remember like seeing somewhere that they were saying that like he's just kind of like stepped up. He's running the offense like he knows it, and he's really comfortable just playing at the NFL level, but that's practice and games are a whole different thing. And not having preseason games this year, I think maybe he'll be a little shaky towards the start of the season. But I think kind of once he kind of gets into it, he'll be doing all right, if not great. Especially if he can get AJ Green to
I was gonna say
know.
that. If AJ Green plays, that's a team that could. I'm not gonna say they're a playoff team. No, I don't think
No,
that.
especially with the Ravens in that conference, absolutely not.
hmm the but here's the thing, like you mentioned, like Lamar and Patrick Mahomes, but neither of them technically like blossomed in their rookie year. It was their second year.
Yeah.
So Lamar did make it to the playoffs. Not single handedly though. Like he had to come in like halfway.
No,
And
off the back of Joe Flacco.
it was not.
You're gonna
No,
tell me Joe Flacco didn't make them all the way to the playoffs?
no, I'm pretty sure they won more games under Lamar in the regular season, or like close to that. Like I think the Ravens like that year, like they were like winning like in the beginning, and then they were like on this huge losing streak, and that's why they brought in Lamar. And
Joe
he kind
Flacco's still on the Broncos?
no, he's not.
No. Where's
I'm
Joe
pretty
Flacco?
sure. I'm pretty sure he's a journeyman.
Oh, look at him go.
Where is Joe Flacco?
I don't.
Well, watch me be
Do you
wrong in the
care?
Steelers one. Then kind of.
They don't
Oh,
need
I
him in Denver.
forgot.
They got a horse cock.
He's on the Jets.
I didn't even hear about that. So they
No,
don't need him in Denver. They got horse cock lock. Didn't they pay him a whole bunch of money and then he got hurt? And then Drew Lock kind of pulled up.
Oh no, yeah, no. They gave Joe Flacco like Joe Flacco was close to becoming like a Kirk Cousins thing, like in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
But then he got hurt, and then they brought in Brandon Allen actually, and Brandon Allen played for a bit, and then Brandon Allen got hurt, I believe, and then they brought in Horsecock Lock, or for Drew Lock. We should probably
Drew Lock for people who don't know who we're talking about.
Horsecock Lock. That's what we are going to refer. Listen, if an NFL player has like a name that can be related to the male genitalia, it's gonna be used. Big Dick Nick Horsecock Lock. It's just how gay this show is.
I think I said horsecock lock, and Rose was like shocked when I said it. Just like out of the blue. I think we were drafting our fantasy teams.
Oh, I remember. I do. I think I remember that.
So horsecock lock, and she was just like stunned.
Oh, because she drafted Horsecock Lock, right?
Yeah, I think she did. I don't remember. I have to look at everybody's teams, and also I have to remind everybody that it starts, and they have to actually give a shit now.
Yeah, poor them. I was thinking. I'll talk about it later. But Joe Flacco's on the Jets. I was talking with So one of my cousin's boyfriends. He works in like football statistics. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I've kind of become friends with him and whatnot. But 'cause that's what I want. That's what I want to do out of college. But he's a big Jets fan, and he's more mad around the team, and he thinks that this year it's going to be a really great year for Sam Darnold, at least like individually.
Keep away from the bars.
He got really mad when I kept making fun of him getting mono.
Because who else in the history of the NFL have had to miss games because of mono? What are you, middle school?
That's what I kept saying, and they were all saying the practical thing, which is like, yes, adults can get mono. Yes, that's technically true, but it's funny.
Yeah, it's a grown man with mono.
Dude, this is why you miss prom, not the NFL. Ugh. Joe Flacco. I'm glad we got to talk about Joe Flacco. It's fun because I like Joe. I talked about Joe Flacco a lot like years ago because I'm from Maryland, so like Baltimore. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone talked about Joe Flacco. You were also talking about Washington. I have no idea if we're going to talk about Washington on this show.
The Washington football team.
Washington football team. You know what? Fuck it. Let's talk about Washington.
Dan Schneider sell the fucking team.
Wrong. Dan Snyder, not Schneider.
Doesn't matter.
To be fair, Because whenever we talk about football with everybody else, we always go Dan Snyder, and they mean like, oh, the Nickelodeon guy. It's like, no, that's Schneider.
No, Dan Snyder, not Dan Schneider. You
But
fucking idiot.
then a really educated person will say, oh, the guy who makes the DC film.
It doesn't matter which Snyder. Sell the team.
Sell the team. I guess I can't. I guess I can't. Never mind. Because my home. If I were to clarify, I'm a Colts fan, but I'm not from Indy. I'm from like Maryland. Like I'm actually like I've been to way more Washington games than I have Colts games in my life. Because Washington is technically my home football team. But when I was like 5 years old, I'm like, oh, that Peyton Manning guy's cool. I'm gonna follow him and his team. And then I became a Colts fan. Because fuck Washington.
See, that's how I was with Drew. But like, I also like my home team.
You like your home team. Well,
I love my home team.
Your home team is like it was like bad for a long time, but it wasn't
What
like
do you mean it was? They're still terrible.
7 wins is better than 0.
They're next on our list. Do you want to talk about the Browns?
Just about. I wanted to say that the Browns, but everybody likes the Browns still, if that makes sense.
Does everybody like the Browns?
Well, everybody kind of wishes them maybe doesn't like, but they wish them the best.
I don't know. The past couple of years, I've seen a lot of people mad about the Browns because everybody's like, "Oh, the Browns are going to the Super Bowl with this team," and then I think we won like 1 game. Then we got Odell, and everybody's like, "Oh, dude, the Browns are like a super team this year." And then we got blown out by Tennessee week 1 by like 30 points.
Insane, but like your team, like everybody hates the Patriots. You know what I mean, because like the Patriots keep winning shit like that. But I feel like there's no team to hate more in the NFL than Washington. Like the way that shit is run, I feel so bad for the players there. Like you know, I mean, you know what happened with Trent Williams, right?
Yeah.
How does that happen? And for context, for anybody who doesn't know, Trent Williams, great offensive lineman player. I loved him. He was one of the few guys in Washington that I kept watching. He had a bump in his head for like 6 years, and the medical staff there was like, "Yo, it's fine. You'll need to get it checked." So he actually, after 6 years, he finally went and got it checked. This was last year. He finally went and got it checked. It was like a tumor. It was cancer, and Washington was totally fine with that. And they were like, just like trying to downplay it, or when they downplayed what's his name like 2 years ago, downplayed domestic violence. Domestic violence is such small. I hate Washington so much.
But the culture is pretty damn.
The culture is damn good.
I don't know. Ron Rivera though. I like Riverboat Ron. I was really hoping he was going to come to Cleveland.
I don't know. I hope if anything, I hope Riverboat Ron fucking kicks cancer's ass.
Mm-hmm.
God bless you, dude. He's a fucking beast. I love that man. I mean, everybody kind of loves him. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, he's great.
Riverboat Ron. All right, we can talk about the Browns now.
Myles Garrett. I mean, they haven't really done like a whole bunch this offseason. Myles Garrett got paid. Hopefully, he doesn't try to kill another Steelers quarterback. And if he does, it'll be Big Ben this time. So I don't think anybody's gonna care.
Nobody's gonna care. We lost good men in Big Ben.
Oh fuck! That's another drink. I think Kareem Hunt just got paid today, which I guess I know that they want to try to do the like kind of the dual threat running back thing. Like Kareem Hunt's a good player, but you got Nick Chubb, man.
He's the best.
I think we only have Nick Chubb under contract till 2021. Like we need to start hashing something out with him. Because if we let Nick Chubb walk, you're never gonna hear the end of it, Cort. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind if we let Nick Chubb walk.
I'm a Colts fan, Andrew Luck. I know what you mean. I know what you're talking about.
Well, that's different. Actually, that's not different.
That's not the Colts.
Team destroyed him.
I hate Ryan Grigson. I hate him. I fucking hate him. I love Chris Ballard and Frank Reich, but I fucking hate Ryan Grigson. He's a Tim. All right, sorry. Browns. We're talking about Browns. I mean, they're shoring up that offensive line, right? At least because Baker needs help there.
Baker does need help. Kevin Stefanski coming in, hopefully does well, but you know how well head coaches do in Cleveland. They usually don't last very long.
No.
I'm honestly I would be ecstatic at like a 9-win season. I'd be content with that.
That'd probably be a wild card spot,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh God, could you imagine if the Browns go to the playoffs?
Don't hope, don't hope. You keep
Yes,
expectations low.
I'm a Browns fan. I'm used to it. It's like I don't know. You think of things you'd be satisfied with, but you don't expect much. If that makes sense.
Hey, you know the phrase like high hopes, low expectations.
Hmm.
Pretty sure for Browns fans, it's low expectations, low hope, little hope.
If something good happens, I'm pleasantly surprised.
Something good.
Because
I
I
feel like
think you remember watching games with me last year, like in
yeah.
like calls and stuff. I would spend most of the game on the ground. Like
Hmm.
I'd be under my desk for parts of Browns games. It was bad.
You were there with me for like the middle of the Colts season last year, where they were like they went from 5-2 and the third best team in the league to like utter garbage, and you saw my mental decline.
Hmm.
You saw me punch. Were you there? I don't think you were actually there when I punched the wall.
Was that the Dolphins game?
No, it was actually the Titans game. Like after
Really, it
that.
wasn't the Dolphins.
No, the
It was the
Dolphins game.
Dolphins.
I
So I
the
remember you
play
going, God fucking damn it, and then just leaving.
that was the god fucking damn it and leaving. That was the Dolphins game when we lost. Um,
Yeah.
but I was actually in a chat with Sheena, I think, and a couple other people.
Oh, poor Sheena. She had to hear you scream, probably.
I didn't scream actually that much. Like it was so what happened was it was because there was the Dolphins loss, and then after that there was the Texans game where there was the questionable like fumble that should have been reviewed for a fumble because it was a fumble, but they didn't. They said no, and the Texans won. And then after that, the next game it was the Titans, and it happened again, a fumble that was clearly a fumble, but they didn't review it. And then it got capped off with Adam Vinatieri's. It was Adam Vinatieri's kick getting blocked and taken back for a touchdown. If you remember that. When that happened, I like stood up and my headset like fell off my head, and I just like it just culminated into this moment of me hitting my wall and cracking it. And I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. Do you have anything else to talk about with the Browns?
Uh, really kind of mad about Grant Delpit. Injured before the season started. He was like our second round pick, strong safety.
Hmm. Well,
I
same
was
like
I was excited to watch him play. I think he tore his Achilles or his ACL. It's something he's done for the year. Just don't remember off the top of my head. I remember seeing it. And fucking god damn it! And then everybody was hoping that we were gonna get Earl Thomas.
Joe Sherbert's gone.
I'm gonna miss Joe Sherbert. Schobert.
Did I say Sherbert?
Yeah, I
Sherbert.
said Sherbert. Joe
My bad.
Show. I'm gonna miss having him because he was like he's a damn good middle linebacker.
I mean, plenty of teams have been having like shit like that where people get injured. Like, I'm pretty sure like what's his name, Derwin James on the Chargers. Like he missed all of last year, and then he like just got put on the IR. Like, is it Derwin? I might be thinking of the wrong person.
No, you're thinking of the right guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there anybody else like that who just got like, who like right before the season shit happened?
This year, I know Kelsey was he didn't
Travis
practice
Kelce
yesterday, but he was back full speed today. So my fantasy team can breathe a sigh of relief.
when I stole George Kittle from you.
Still mad about it. I'm still mad that Iz took DeAndre Hopkins one pick before I took him. Can't believe it.
I swear, me stealing Travis Kelce could not have been the only thing. I mean, me stealing George Kittle from you could not have been the only thing I stole from you that draft. But you also stole from me one time, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there was a couple of them, but the Kittle one, I think I slammed my desk when he took him. I was kind of mad because I was like, "Oh, dude, George Kittle's still on the board. All right." But I mean, it's fine. I settled in air quotes with Travis Kelce. It's not like I had to get a bad tight end.
You got the second best tight end in the league.
Mm-hmm. Still can't believe that Kim drafted some guy who's like projected to get 50 points all year.
Kim is Kim. All right, Kim's a wild card. Kim and
I
Shane
don't
are
remember
wild
what it
cards.
was. It was like a third string running back.
I don't know.
He just
Kim probably
drafted him.
dropped
His
him.
name was cool.
I mean, I kind of respect that.
And then Shane only started drafting people who had cool names.
It's
That fantasy league's gonna be a mess.
yeah, but that's why we don't put money on it, and most of them don't watch football. It's just fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much just to fill out a roster because I was like, I want to do fantasy this year. I didn't have any set yet. Now I'm in 3 of them. So whoops.
I think the what's it called? So we talked about the Browns, talked about basically the Patriots. All right, I want to talk. I think there's not as much to talk about with the Colts except for just like the players that are there. Of course, like like fucking Darius Leonard's still there. Um, yeah, the team's there. It's a well balanced team, I think, with maybe a little bit of problems in the secondary because I mean we've been having problems in the secondary ever since what's his name left. How am I forgetting his name? I loved him when he was there. Whatever. I'll find it later. I don't know what. Listen, I've been forgetting names. Like I forgot Christopher Nolan's name earlier today for like 2 minutes. I just couldn't
I
remember
get you
his
all the
name.
time. I'll sit there and it's like I should know who this is, and you just don't remember. It's even worse with football players sometimes.
Oh, I could have. You probably could have told me who it was. I remember now. Vontae Davis.
Oh yeah.
Because Vontae Davis was the guy that he went to the Jets and then he like retired like during like the third game. Do you remember that? He like
I
retired
remember.
during like halftime.
Hey, I mean, good on him.
Yeah,
He
no,
walked into the half room and he's like, you know what? I'm done with this. I don't know why he couldn't have just like told them that, like he wasn't feeling well. Don't play in the second half. Get a young guy in there and then like wait until the weekend to do it. I don't know. Doing it during halftime was kind of shitty, but goddamn, was it fucking hilarious to
I don't
see
give
that
a
he
shit.
retired mid game.
It's Vontae Davis. I don't give a fucking shit, dude. I loved Vontae Davis when he was the best corner on the Colts for a while. And I mean, but we got Kenny Moore, Xavier Rhodes. They're all right. I mean, Kenny Moore is good. Kenny Moore is a good corner, but that's kind of it in there. But like Darius Leonard, there's not much to talk about beyond that. I mean, except for it is really going to come down to can Philip Rivers elevate this team,
hmm
and then I can swap over to the division rival. So we talked a little about probably as much about the Texans as we could. I feel like we should address the Titans.
I'm just fucking happy that everybody's on the same page with Derrick Henry now.
Finally,
Like
after
I
years,
fucking loved Derrick Henry,
you
and
and I have been on the
everybody
same page.
finally understands that he's like kind of a beast.
You and I were on the Derrick Henry hype train since like 2018, like early
Yeah.
2018.
No, I've always loved watching Derrick Henry play. Dude's a
He's a
monster.
fucking wrecking ball.
He had a slow start to his NFL career, but now everybody's finally on the same fucking page. Thank God.
You think Ryan Tannehill is going to continue his comeback player of the year thing, or do you think he's going to be like, or do you think he's going to pull what he did at Miami, where he finally got paid
I
and
think
it's
he's
like, all right,
I think he's gonna keep it going. They got a good thing going on in Tennessee.
I really hope
Jadeveon
they.
Clowney too. They got Jadeveon Clowney's kind of. I'm really iffy on him, but like, I mean, I'm sure he'll do okay at best in Tennessee.
I
Mike
think
Vrabel's a good head coach. They got a good thing going on. I mean, no, we'll get into that when we're doing records.
with the I do want to say one thing. It's really weird because with the Colts, the Texans, and the Titans, I think like the AFC South is like both the most competitive division, but also at, like a high level. You know what I mean? Like those are three teams that are probably going to finish around like 10 or 11 wins in the same division.
Yeah,
Like I don't know. I would not be surprised if the AFC South has three playoff teams. It has three teams those three teams go to the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised. I also wouldn't be surprised if the Titans do the. I actually really hope the Titans finish at 9-7 again for the fifth year in a row because they've
I don't
always
think it's
they're
gonna
so
happen.
they're so dude they're so inconsistent, man. They've been inconsistent for
I
years.
mean, did you watch them in the playoffs last year?
I did, but that's just the that
That's a team who can play. If they can take that momentum into this year, I think they're gonna do
maybe,
fantastic.
but they're also a team. They are. You know what the Titans are? The Titans are a team that play. So you know how some teams like play down to their competition, right?
hmm
The Titans play to their competition. If they're playing a great team, they play great. If they're playing a shitty team, they play shit. It happens every year. They don't it is the Titans always play to their competition, and that's what sometimes kills them. That's why a team that can look like great will go 9-7 4 years in a row. But I mean, like, if there's any year to go better than 9-7, it would be this one. I would not be surprised if the Titans like win the AFC South and are one of the best football teams this year. I wouldn't be surprised, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they like barely make the wild card. It's the Titans. They have been like this for years.
I mean, come off a hot postseason. Keep it going.
I mean,
I'm really that's a team I'm really excited to actually watch play this year.
oh, absolutely. I mean, the Rams came off a hot postseason, and look what happened to them. Like postseason, like being able to play in the postseason is extremely important, but like it doesn't always carry into the next year necessarily. Even when the pieces seem like they're there. But I can't wish them the best. They're a division rival.
Hmm.
I can't wish them the best, but I don't hate the Titans because I love Derrick Henry. I respect Mike Vrabel, and I wish the best for Ryan Tannehill. And Jaguars are going to suck, but we'll get into that later. Jaguars
Right.
are going to go back to being the Jaguars that they were 4 years ago.
You got Philly on this list.
I want to talk about Philly along with two other teams
All right.
because just for a little bit because I want to talk about Philly, I want to talk about Seattle, and I want to talk about San Francisco. Those are like the three most busted up teams in the league this year, going into this year. They are not doing well with injuries. And I'm interested to see if they're gonna do like really like poorly in the beginning of the season and then just like ramp it up at the end. Because it's interesting. I mean, the 49ers are like the least banged up, but they're pretty relatively banged up. They're with them in that injury bowl kind of category.
I remember seeing that they had a lot of injuries. I haven't been checking injury reports as much as I probably should be, but
I mean,
I mean, I think they'll be fine.
you think
They're
they'll be
well
fine?
coached teams. I mean, Philly is like last year they had to do injuries like just about every single week, and they still wound up, getting a wild card. Oh, I mean
That's the NFC East.
that division is kind of shit, but
The Delaware Clams.
still, I mean they were they were pushing through injuries last year. They still finished like 9-7 or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And then
It's
we
like
got
it's
to
not
watch
preseason,
the
it's not
Injury Bowl during the playoffs. Josh McCown started in the playoff game.
what was he playing with, like a torn ACL or a torn Achilles?
Josh McCown's my hero.
I love Josh McCown. I respect the hell out of that dude.
Was it helicopter
Heli-
dick down helicopter McCown?
no, it was helicopter dig down McCown.
Oh, I thought the dick down came first.
No, helicopter dick down McCown. I loved him before he played in Cleveland. I loved him after he played in Cleveland. I loved him while he was playing in Cleveland, as much as I can love a Browns quarterback.
What do you think about Baker?
I'm still really iffy on Baker. Man, dude looked great his freshman year. His
Freshman, I mean, yeah, that worked.
freshman year, his first year in the NFL, he looked great. I think like playing only half the season. I think didn't he break the rookie passing touchdown record?
I have no clue
I
on
was
that.
expecting such a huge season out of Baker this last year.
But Lamar got it instead.
Yeah, Lamar got it instead. It was just an absolute flop in Cleveland. I don't know how much you want to put on Freddie Kitchens for that one.
How can
I'm
it
really hoping it was just a second year slump for him, because I just want Baker. I just want a quarterback. Please, I just want a quarterback.
I like the way Baker talks to the media because I hate the media sometimes. No, of course I wasn't happy with the drive. I wanted points.
Ugh. There's a bunch of progressive commercials in Cleveland here. I like those commercials. That's like the best thing I can say about Baker right now.
When he accepted all those commercials, it kind of raised the bar for him. It's like, oh, you have to be you're a face of the NFL. Like
Yeah, no,
he was in the 100th anniversary commercial.
yeah,
Like he was a face of the NFL, and he didn't live up to that. Like definitely did not live up to that.
I do like his progressive commercials though. They're fun. That's the best thing I can say about Baker right now.
He looks good in commercials.
Yeah, he's marketable. He's absolutely a marketable player.
But he's been surpassed in marketability.
Yeah, because you got Lamar Jackson.
I was gonna say Gardner Minshew.
Gar-
I'm saying
London loves mediocre Minshew.
no. Lamar Jackson is like extremely like. I wasn't talking about like general marketability. I was talking about Gardner Minshew has the same marketability as Baker Mayfield. I think.
I'd say he's even a little more marketable.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like the same genre. If that makes sense. That's why I think he surpasses him.
Yeah.
You know why? It's because Gardner realizes the power of the facial hair, and Baker the fool shaved.
Do you remember that one time that he shaved 3 different, like he had 3 different facial hairstyles in like one day? It was like kind of jarring. It's like, when are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
Baker doesn't have that moment where like that picture where Gardner Minshew's walking out of the jet and he's got like the top buttons open and he just looks like the coolest fucking dude ever.
Looks kind of like what's his name from Nice Guys. He's got that kind of vibe
Oh,
going on.
Ryan Gosling and Nice Guys,
Yeah, he's got like a Ryan Gosling and Nice Guys vibe kind of going on.
dude.
What a good fucking movie.
Well, no, you and I both watched that for the first time recently.
It's fantastic.
Fuck it, this is no longer 5th and 10. This is the Nice Guys podcast where we talk about how good Nice Guys is. Go watch Nice Guys.
Shame it flopped.
Did it?
I guess it did. They had like 2 more sequels planned, and they just aren't getting made now. I guess.
Well, you and I didn't watch it till like 2 years after it came out.
I'm pissed I waited that long to watch it. It's great.
Same.
Jello had to like beg us to watch it. It's like
He
when
did.
we get around to a Jello.
And then he said, "Do you have 2 hours free?" And we said, "Yeah, sure." And then we just watched it.
Yeah.
So go watch Nice Guys. Now we'll talk about football again.
Okay, back onto football. Got Bears on the list. Did you want to talk about the Bears specifically, or did you just want to talk
We
about
kind
the
of
quarterback
did.
situation?
We kind of did. We already
Fucking
talked about the
balls on
Bears.
the bench.
I think you should talk about the Saints a little more.
Saints? God, they said that they're getting close to hashing out a contract with Alvin Kamara because I was scared for a couple of days. He just stopped showing up to practice, and they were like, "All right, we're looking to trade him." I think they had like 4 teams come and talk to them. But the last I heard, they were getting really close on a contract there. I think that this is probably like our last year, like the Saints' last year to really win a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was gonna bring that up later.
I'm really hoping that they do it. Because like I love Drew Brees. I really want Drew to retire with more than 1 ring.
He deserves it.
Every single year in the playoffs, it's just something's gotta happen. I still haven't seen the Minnesota Miracle all the way to completion. Every single time it comes up on a screen, I look away.
All right, we should probably. I want to talk about one more team, and then we'll talk to records because we've been going on for a bit.
All right.
I want to talk about the team that everybody's been talking about, the Cardinals.
Oh, we got
Continuing
DeAndre
on from-
Hopkins and Larry Legend on the same team.
Did you see that Brett Coleman video about like the defense?
No, I haven't.
It's a good video, and it makes me optimistic that I don't think the Cardinals are going to be this god tier team. God no, but I think they could do like a Bengals situation where I think they could. I think they're going to do better than the Bengals. I just think they're a team that could pleasantly surprise their fan base because
What they finished last year? 5-11.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see them going even.
Yeah, no, I think I have them going even on my predictions.
Like Kyler Murray is a guy that I really like, and I hope he improves, and I think he will improve. I think Kyler Murray is going to get maybe not to the same extent, but a very similar treatment to Lamar Jackson. Not the same extent, obviously, no MVP, but like I think he's going to improve. They helped with the defense a lot, and I think they helped to boost up that offensive line during the draft. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about that, but they're trying to fix where they know is wrong. I'm pretty sure. And so I am excited to watch the Cardinals. Plus, like we're talking about players like Drew Brees. Like Drew Brees deserves a ring. Phillip Rivers deserves a ring. Larry Legend deserves a ring.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Fitzgerald deserves a fucking ring. So like, if it's not like the Colts winning it, then I'm kind of rooting for the Cardinals to win it. But I know you're in the NFC.
That's a stretch. There's a lot of good teams in the NFC. I don't like that. I'm thinking like 8-8, 9-7 for the Cardinals. They're gonna have a good year. I don't know about Super Bowl.
Do you remember I said the word root for and hope for, not realistically? No, they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it, but I kind of hope.
I mean, hey, they might. Kyler Murray comes out, 2nd-year performance, the next Lamar Jackson, even though he's like a year younger than him.
Mm-hmm. All right, I guess we should go. So basically, what we did is we went. Yeah, never mind.
Von Miller get hurt? I'm just seeing that now. Did I miss something today?
On the spot updates. We're like a real show.
It's crazy. Oh, he's done for the season. 50 minutes ago.
We were talking about people being injured before the season. Did we do this? Did we? Von Miller, no, I like you. I didn't want to curse you.
No. This started like as soon as we started recording. We've been recording for like
Okay.
an
So
hour.
we didn't curse Von Miller. Good.
Oh, but geez, dude, Von Miller done for the whole year.
Dude,
Lower leg injury.
some people are talking about Broncos being a dark horse, but there goes the defense. Back to the basement with, I mean, a good, I hope for Horsecock Lock. Drew Lock. I'll call him Drew Lock. Or do you think he likes being called Horsecock Lock?
I don't know. That's Good Sports is selling shirts with that on it, so I hope he does.
I
I'm
don't
gonna buy
know.
a Horse Cocklock shirt.
Should I?
I don't know. I think it'd be funny.
I think it would be funny. Maybe draw. Maybe
If they
something.
if they do good this year, if they make playoffs, I'll buy a Horse Cocklock shirt.
If he does really well this year, we'll get Rose to replace our jerseys with Horsecock Lock shirts on the picture.
To see if she's like,
We'll
updating
become,
things.
we'll become the biggest Horsecock Lock fans out there.
The Horse Cocklock cast.
Yeah. I guess we should. So we went like game by game, and we're not gonna express every game by game because that'd be boring. But we're just gonna talk about our general predictions, record wise, and like standing wise for the overall season. What we think, just kind of going into it and shit like that. And you can pull up my the note I sent you. You can drop the. You want to send me the picture?
Yeah. Hold on. Fucking pull up mine. Should have had these ready, honestly.
Should I go first or should you?
If you want to start rattling shit off, do you just want to go by like division?
I think I was gonna go by division originally.
Let's go by division.
I was classic East or Southwest, AFC to NFC.
Sorry that this is the most disgusting format it could possibly be for this image.
That's not.
But,
bad.
Okay,
That's
so
not awful.
do you want to do like your
Well,
predictions for division, my predictions, and then just do that every division? Or do
Yeah,
you want
that
to
sounds
do
good.
like all in one go? Okay.
No, I think that sounds good.
Where are we starting?
So I went in the AFC East. That's usually you go East, North, South, West. So
Okay.
East I went Bills at 11-5, Patriots at 9-7, Dolphins at 5-11, Jets at 3-13.
3-13. I've got like really balanced records, probably
I
because
mean, I do later. I do later as well.
East, I've got Patriots win at 9-7, Bills 7-9, Jets 6-10, Dolphins 5-11.
I feel like the AFC East is just a little unbalanced. It always has been.
I just realized that we have the same record for Patriots and
Dolphins.
Patriots and Dolphins, so
I think you're underrating the Bills.
that's
Dude.
gonna come.
I don't think the Bills have too tough of a schedule. I mean, your 6-10 is probably going to be close to my 3-13 to the Jets because the Jets are probably going to get a couple wins and like
I think
garbage.
out.
Well, I think they're going to get those like I think they'll get like 3 like in the competitive time, and then when they're eliminated, they'll get like 3 more. Like they did this year. I don't know why Bills at 7-9, not even making the playoffs. I'm assuming.
I think I had them on a wild card spot. I don't remember. I
Yeah,
should have
I
had this whole fucking thing pulled up. I was just like going through week by week, and I was like, yeah, I like that matchup. Yeah, I don't like that matchup. I wasn't really looking at overall records until I was done doing like week by week stuff.
Fair. Guess we'll talk about. I like how we're both like, yeah, the Patriots, don't count them out just yet.
Well, I mean, Court, we've had like 20 straight years of don't bet against the Patriots.
That's true.
You just don't bet against them. I know Tom Brady's gone, but they've still got Bill Belichick.
They have the hoodie. So I guess we should talk about the North now. And I went Ravens 13-3, Steelers 10-6, Browns 7-9, Bengals 4-12.
Right, I've got Ravens winning it 12-14 or 12-14. They're playing it like 2 seasons right now. They're just getting them out of the way. 12-4. I actually have the Bengals at 9-7. I'm really thinking that Joe Burrow is going to pull something out this year.
I don't know.
Steelers, I've got 8-8, and
we both said Browns 7-9.
Yep.
I think the Steelers. Listen, I don't think Big Ben's going to be anything like he was before, but I think he's going to be good enough to carry them to a 10-win season or something like that, especially a wild card.
Everybody in Pittsburgh is going to clap when he throws a ball and his elbow doesn't explode.
So like how Seattle reacted to Beast Mode.
Yep.
When he scored a 1-yard touchdown.
Hey, he couldn't do it in the Super Bowl, but he could do it then.
Well, dude, I was one of those people. I was clapping.
I was going crazy.
We were
I love
watching that.
Beast Mode.
We
I
were
love
watching that game.
Marshawn Lynch. He's one of my favorite players.
You got to remember when I talk about the impact of football, right? Like just culturally to people who don't get football, I always bring up the fact that hey, listen, an NFL game caused an earthquake and has an earthquake named after a player, the
I talk
Beastquake.
about that all the time. I always talk about the Beastquake.
I love Beast
I was
Mode, dude.
talking about it yesterday with Amy.
I mean, listen, I'm not disrespecting Beast Mode at all. He might be my favorite running back of all time.
He's one of my favorite NFL personalities of all time.
He
I
is.
love him.
He's amazing. I was just comparing. Someone's gonna be like, "You disrespecting? You're throwing shade at Beast Mode." I'm like, never. Beast
He's just
Mode's the
old.
best.
It happens,
All right.
especially with the running back position. Like you get old quick, and then there's Frank Gore.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Gore Jr. started his first college game last week.
Yeah,
In
I'm.
3 years, Frank Gore could play on the same team as his dad.
If Frank Gore just keeps signing with the Jets for like a little bit, we can get like a Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr. thing, except with Frank
Oh,
Gore and
dude,
Frank Gore Jr.
I was talking to my mom about Frank Gore, right? She was talking about how she would go to Indians games when she was younger, and like at the time the Indians were not good, so there would be like 100 people in the stands probably. So if you were sitting down close enough, you could shout down to the players and they could hear you. And my mom shouted down to Ken Griffey Jr. because they were coming out of the dugout and she didn't see his dad. And she was like, "Hey, the inning's starting. Wake your dad up." And he turned around and he flipped my mom off. She just told me that the other day, and I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Oh, that's amazing. I guess AFC South. Let's see. So I have the AFC South being really competitive and probably better than they should be. So I have
Really
I
competitive. I just looked at it.
I have the Colts at 11-5, and both the Texans and the Titans at 10-6, and the Jaguars at 2-14. Because I legitimately I have no faith in the Jaguars this year.
Man, you're fucking mean.
I don't want to be. I don't hate the Jaguars though. I've always had pity for Jaguars.
I think I've only got like one team that I'm like, yeah, they're gonna fucking suck this year.
Well, yeah, the difference is everything's balanced. But I actually looked at like past the past like record shift for the past couple years. There's always like 5 teams that are like sub 5 wins,
Mm-hmm.
and more of mine just happen to be in the AFC. Like I think my NFC is like way more balanced than my AFC. My AFC is way more unbalanced. But that's just because there's a couple teams in the AFC that are just like dominating, you know.
Yeah,
Like your Ravens and your
the Chiefs.
yeah, like what do you see of Titans at 13-3? I think that's over. I think that's a little. I can see the Colts going 8-8, despite the fact that I have them at 11 wins.
I got Titans at 13-3, winning the division. Texans 11-5, Colts 8-8, and Jaguars 6-10.
I mean, I could see the Jaguars doing 6 wins as well. I don't know, man. The Jaguars, I think, are going to be the worst team in the league this year. They have Jacksonville is gone. Leonard Fournette is gone. That front office is self-imploding on itself. What is there besides Gardner Minshew?
God, remember a couple of years ago when we thought the Jaguars were going to win the Super Bowl?
I never thought that.
I did. Dude, back when Saxonville was in full swing, I was like, damn, this is a Super Bowl caliber team right
No, but then I
now. They lost and everybody left.
No, I was never no, I was on the hype train that they were a really good team, and I loved that defense despite them being a rival, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really happy for Jaguars fans because they've always been the punching bag of the South, you know what I mean, of the AFC South.
Yep.
And like, so I was like, good for them, you know what I mean. The Colts were the punching bag that year. They only got like 4 wins because that was the season that Andrew Luck was like out entirely. So like, I was like, good for the Jags. That's good for them. But I was like, yeah, I mean, I could see them doing well, but I just could see them failing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's similar to this Titans scenario, you know.
Yeah.
They're not going to fall apart. The Titans are going to make the playoffs most likely, but
I'm saying they take that division.
yeah.
That's just what I'm thinking.
When it comes down to the AFC South, it's really going to be a lot of the division matchups are just coin tosses. In all honesty, it's just gonna. I can't predict that well.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to decide that division is those division matchups because they're all pretty like evenly calibered. I think, in all honesty, I feel like the betting odds and the spreads are going to be really close. Maybe they won't be later in the season when we find out who's good and who's not, but like at the moment. I go to the AFC West. I have this one. I have the 14-2 Chiefs because I think there's usually a 14-win team each year, and I think that's going to be the Chiefs. And then the Broncos at 7-9, the Chargers at 5-11, and the Raiders at 5-11.
All right, I've got Chiefs 14-2, just like you.
Mm-hmm.
Raiders I actually have 8-8. I have them breaking even. Chargers I've got at 6-10, and Broncos I've got at 6-10.
So we both have the 14-2, and we both were the 14-2 Chiefs. But otherwise, we're actually pretty similar on the West.
Yeah.
I guess we should hop over to the NFC now, huh?
All right. See.
With everyone's favorite division, the NFC East.
The NFC East last year, where it was just begging for somebody to win that division until like the season actually ended.
Mm-hmm.
It's up for grabs all year because they're all garbage.
Okay. All right. You remember how I said like I think the NFC is my NFC is balanced, and I do think that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Ignore that for the East. Ignore that statement because I have the Cowboys at 9-7. I have the Eagles. I think they're gonna pull it off in later. I think the Eagles are gonna go 8-8. And I have the Giants at 4-12, and I have Washington at 2-14. That is my bias seeping in. Washington's probably gonna get like 4 or 5 wins, but I kind of don't want them to. What about you?
I've got Cowboys win the division 8-8. You know, as you do in the NFC East.
As God intended.
5-11 Eagles. Giants 4-12, and the Washington football team 4-12.
The big fucking stupid W.
The what?
The big fucking stupid W for the Washington logo.
Yeah.
So
I get that it's a like temporary name, but try, please. I know that they don't do that often. Fucking W, the Washington football team. You named your fantasy team Washington Fantasy Team.
Yeah, because I thought it was funny.
It is funny.
I'm the Washington Fantasy Football Team. I would take that with pride.
Okay.
Something maybe a little bit less than pride. I guess the NFC North. I'm rocking Vikings at 11-5, Packers at 9-7, Bears at 7-9, Lions at 6-10.
I've got Vikings 11-5, Packers 10-6, Bears 6-10, and Lions 3-13. I have the Lions like predicted to be the worst team this year. I just think they're gonna flop. There's just something about it.
No, but they have Matthew Stafford back, and I think Matthew Stafford can easily carry that team to 6 wins. When Stafford was there, they would barely lose, if that makes sense.
They'd lose a little.
No, but they almost beat the Chiefs. If only they didn't fumble the ball like 4 times. Twice on the 1-yard line. I don't know. I think the Lions will go 6-10. I think they'll be very mediocre. I don't think they'll be the punching bag of the league this year. That'll be the fucking Jaguars. Jaguars fans are not gonna like me. All right, not much else to talk about with the NFC North except for you and I were very down on the Packers last year. We thought they were at least I thought they were like a 10-win team that somehow got 13 wins.
Yeah, I got them winning 10 games this year.
I have them at 9. I guess the last thing to talk about is the NFC South. And I did not expect that from you when I'm looking at.
Hey, I tried to keep my bias out of it. I was going week by week. I was looking at. I was like, the Saints. They're a great team. I've actually only got the Saints at 9-7.
Yeah, that's lower than
they've got a rough schedule. I think they played the Ravens and the Chiefs this year, and I think I had them losing both of those games and like a couple of other away games. But just like going week by week, I was like, yeah, they've got some tough matchups. I've got them at 9-7. I got Buccaneers at 8-8, Panthers at 7-9, and Falcons at 5-11. Because I do think that's usually a pretty competitive division, at least the past couple has been.
I agree. For me, I have the Saints at 13-3. I feel like they always do really well in the regular season. I think
They always
they're
do
going to be.
great, and then and then they play the Vikings in the postseason.
Dude, the Vikings are to the Saints what like the Yankees are to the Twins, just like a roadblock in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
What else is there? And then I actually have the Falcons at 9-7. I I believe in the I don't know why for some reason I always kind of believe in the faith of the Falcons each year because they always have a lot of potential and I kind of think they could capitalize on it.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe they won't like always. I have the Panthers at 7-9 as well, and then I have the Buccaneers at 6-10 because I don't know something about me was just like I don't. I think the Buccaneers have a tough schedule. I just don't know if that retirement home can do it. The last division is the NFC West. You want to lead off on that one because you have them
Okay,
really
I
high.
have a really fucking competitive NFC West this year. I'm actually really excited to see a lot of those teams
Oh,
play.
so am I. I'm excited.
I've got the Seahawks at 14-2. I have the Seahawks winning the NFC this year, at least in the regular season, because I
We'll talk
really
about
like
that later.
Russell Wilson, like DK Metcalf, like all those guys over there.
I think they'll pull it off more in the later half of the season. They're still injured.
Yeah, I I also wasn't looking at injuries that much while I was uh doing all these. I was doing them kind of quick too. But Seahawks 14-2, Cardinals 9-7, Rams 9-7, 49ers 9-7. A lot of 9-7s in the NFC West. I really do think
Yeah.
it's going to be a competitive division.
Is this like how a couple years ago when there was a fight for the NFC West championship and they were all 7-9?
Mhm.
That was when Beastquake happened because of that.
Yeah,
Uh,
but, like Cardinals and everything, I'm just really expecting Kyler Murray to be able to pull something off this year.
I think I have the Seahawks at 12-4, and then I think I have the nine. I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between the Niners at 11-5 and 12-4 because they are injured and I don't know, but like a part of me like wants to be more down on them because they are a very mortal team, but I'm like, I should probably stick with the consistency. So I have them at 12-4 at the moment, and then I have the Cardinals at 8-8 and the Rams at 7-9. And I guess at this point we should talk about for anyone who wasn't able to keep up with that. We don't blame you. What that would make our playoffs, I'm pretty sure, but maybe I fucked up a tiebreaker.
I forgot to fucking save my predictions for the playoffs.
We don't have to do the whole playoffs, just like the seeding.
Seeding.
Yeah, you just need to. Yeah, yeah. Like for you, that would be. I'll list off my AFC. So that would put for me: Chiefs take the West and the 1 seed, Ravens take the North and the 2 seed, Colts at the 3 seed, Bills at the 4 seed, and then the wild cards would go to the Texans, Titans, and Steelers. That's my AFC.
Hold on, I have to like gloss through this because it is written down on these. It's just like I have to look. I've got the
You got the Chiefs taking the West.
Chiefs taking the West, Patriots taking the East, Ravens taking the North, and Titans taking the South. I've got
It's a bit out of order.
Texans.
To clarify, it's Chiefs 1, Titans 2, Ravens 3, Patriots 4.
Yeah, and then I've got what fucking Texans, Bengals.
Texans would take the 5th seed with 11-5,
Damn, you're reading this quicker than me.
and then
The fuck's my Bengals 6 seed,
yep.
Raiders 7 seed.
I don't know who would I guess that maybe that game that thing you're using automatically does tiebreakers because I guess it would because the Raiders are 8-8 both with the Colts and the Steelers in your thing. But I guess let me look division. Yeah, I guess because the Raiders go 4-2 in that division, so that's why they would take it. So yeah, your wild card I guess would be Texans, Bengals, and Raiders, and that's interesting.
It's gonna be an interesting year.
Oh, it is absolutely. I'm excited for this year. And then my NFC, I had Saints take the South with the 1 seed, Seahawks take the West with the 2 seed, Vikings North 3 seed, Cowboys 4th in the East, 49ers take the first wild card, Packers take the second, and Falcons take the third.
Sorry, I was looking at something. Rose messaged me.
That's all good.
Fuck. I've got Seahawks with the first seed, Vikings with the second seed, Saints with the third seed, Cowboys with the fourth. And my wild card teams are Packers fifth seed, Cardinals sixth seed, Rams seventh seed. I really just got everybody in the West going, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if that happens. That West division is
Competitive.
all right. And I guess last thing we're gonna do, like for overall season prediction, was we weren't gonna go playoff by playoff game. We're just gonna talk about who's gonna represent each conference and who's gonna win. So, do you want to start or should I?
I'm trying to remember. I think I had Ravens Saints Super Bowl, which is what I was expecting last year. I mean, little bias here, but I do think that the Saints have a really good shot this year.
They're always a safe bet for the Super Bowl. They always are.
And then they make it to like the first or second round of the playoffs.
Oh, the conference championship. And then the NFL themselves have to be like, we have a narrative to keep.
They're a good bet. I've got Ravens Saints Super Bowl, Saints win.
All right. Looks like we're gonna be a little bit boring here, okay? Because I have repping the AFC, I've got the Chiefs, and repping the NFC, I've got the Saints. And my prediction for the winner of this season, just because I think they this is their last chance, I also said Saints.
All right.
So we're a bit boring, both picking the same team. But here's the thing interesting to me, is unlike seasons past, there's always seemed like one or two teams that were like unstoppable, right? But like when you look at it now, even teams like the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Niners, the Seahawks, the Saints, they're all beatable. If you can exploit their weaknesses, which they all have, they're all very mortal teams. That's what makes this season so interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's also preseason. See, like once you.
Yeah.
There's not any like unbeatable teams this year because like last year, watching like the 49ers play and like the Ravens play, Chiefs, like they just looked unstoppable. This year though, I'm interested to see because like you keep bringing it up, but like Seahawks, 49ers injuries and everything, that's going to play a big role at the beginning of the year. And if you get kind of like a slump at the beginning of the season, kind of trying to like pull yourself out of that, you have to fight against that momentum. It's going to be a really interesting year to watch.
Yeah, I mean the last thing that we're gonna do. So usually, as we continue this, we are probably gonna talk more about general news that happens in the specific week that it transpired, and at the end of each show, we're gonna do our predictions for the upcoming games, and not like what we predicted at the beginning of the season. We're just gonna go week by week. So, do you have like who you had winning each first game?
I do actually have the same.
All right. Why don't we go game by game and just say like who we think? That's it.
Week one.
Let me pull up the week one matchups. Because I actually didn't necessarily write that down, but I did write down like
I've got it written down. It's just structured kind of weird.
Yeah.
You want to start with Thursday night games? Well,
right,
Thursday night game. Singular.
Game, yeah. All right, so Texans Chiefs. I had Chiefs.
I got Chiefs winning it.
Yeah, I can see that going out of the way though. In all honesty.
Yeah.
All right, Eagles Washington. I had Eagles.
I got Eagles.
Yeah. I mean, if Washington's gonna beat them anywhere, it would be there when they're not recovered yet, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Fuck Washington. Dolphins Patriots. I had Patriots.
Patriots.
Vikings Packers. I had Vikings.
I actually got Packers winning that one.
Oh, you got Packers. All right. Finally,
Packers.
it's the fucking variation.
Yeah, I got Packers week one.
I swear to God, people, we're not the same person. Despite what Izzy says. Colts Jaguars. I had Colts.
Colts.
Bears Lions. I had Bears.
Bears. We're
Raiders,
back on it.
who did I? Oh, I got this one actually. Give me a second. Let me see who I wrote down. Raiders Panthers. I had Panthers.
I've actually got Raiders that game.
Hey.
I'm betting on Raiders.
Jets Bills. I had Bills.
You've also got Bills.
Browns Ravens. I had Ravens.
Ravens. Unfortunately, they're gonna whoop the fuck out of us.
Seahawks Falcons. I had Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Chargers Bengals. I had Chargers.
I
Yeah, I
got
feel like
Bengals.
yeah, I had a feeling you're gonna say
Yeah,
Bengals.
no, I'm
That's gonna
really
be
excited to see Joe Burrow play.
yeah. That's I mean I could see the Bengals if there's I could see the Bengals winning that. Cardinals Niners I had Niners.
Niners,
Bucks Saints I had Saints.
Saints,
Rams Cowboys I had Rams.
Rams,
Steelers Giants I had Steelers.
Steelers are back on it.
Steelers. Titans Broncos I had Broncos. I'm kidding. I had the Titans.
Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
sir.
well, it's just when you go into the season, you kind of have the pre-established narratives of last season, and
Mm-hmm.
the moment week one happens, we're gonna see a bunch of shakeups happen, and that's gonna like bring a lot of deconstruction to those.
It's especially hard for us, like coming out no preseason,
Yeah.
like at all. Like the only thing that we've had is like reading articles and like I've been watching Hard Knocks. That's about it. That's like the most preseason stimulation I've got.
Like, and also not a lot of these just aren't even like if you went solely by the statistics of last year, most of these aren't like quote unquote good games, but there's gonna be some good games, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Like Texans Chiefs, I think are gonna be a good game.
Yeah.
Vikings Packers is probably gonna be a good game. I think the Panthers Raiders will be a good game actually.
Yeah, actually, I think it will.
Bengals Chargers won't necessarily be a good game, but I think it'll be a close game.
Uh-huh.
Cowboys Rams should be a close game, and that's really like it. And it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see who shakes off those last year
You don't
narratives.
think Saints Buccaneers is gonna be close?
No.
You don't like that unstoppable new offense the Buccaneers got going on from
Oh, the one that
2014?
I'll be surprised if they move above 5 miles per hour.
My friend drafted Gronk pretty early in the fantasy draft.
Why?
And I told him that the most exciting thing Gronk's gonna do this year is when he smashed that Lego Steve Harvey on New Year's Eve.
I guess there's not that much else to talk about.
No, I mean we talked.
We've been talking for like an hour and a half, so like it's not usually going to be this long. It's just we just have a lot to talk about, like months and months of football. Our withdrawal is just like gone out into like this one big. Bleh. So I guess that's it for preseason or yeah. I guess we'll call it preseason. Why not?
Our preseason episode.
Our pre 2020 season episode. I guess that's it. I guess we'll see you all next week, and I guess we're not going to talk about Odell.
We don't need to talk about Odell.
We're not going to talk about Odell.
We're not going to talk about that.
Have a good night, everybody.